In this video, I'm going to show you several ways in which you can provide your students access to an external website in Canvas. And one of the things I'm going to show you is ways in which we can do so to make it more efficient for a student who uses a screen reader to be able to read that website if you decide you want it within Canvas. So one of the first ways that we can provide students access to an external website outside of Canvas is to simply click in the module bar and select external URL. And then it's going to ask you to put the URL in here, give the page a name, and then you'll have the option to indent or not to indent, but more significantly, whether you want to load the page in a new tab. So I want to go through those options and show you what those look like and provide maybe some context of why one might be better than the other. So let's go to this website here, Science Friday. I'm going to copy the URL, and then I'm going to go back and paste it here. And then I'm just going to call this Science Friday. I'm going to leave, actually I'm going to uncheck this and show you what happens. So by default, it's checked as load a new tab. I'm going to uncheck it, and then we'll watch and see what happens. I'm going to indent this, and then I'm going to add the item. So here is the link, and there is the link logo. This is simply a link. I'm going to click on it, and essentially this is what the student will see. There is no student view for this. It's not a Canvas page. But this is what the student will see. It's in a predetermined sized box. It has its own scroll bar to scroll through it. And so the advantage of this is it's quite simply a link. They click on it. It takes them here. They're in Canvas. They're not leaving Canvas. They're not being placed in another tab away from Canvas, and there's advantages to that. The problem is that it is in this frame, and it's only so large, and of course that might be determined by the size of the window, right? It will resize according to the size of their monitor and their browser window, but it's still a very small area, and I have a rather large screen, so there's not much context here so far as their viewpoint. So let's look at the other option then, shall we? I'm going to go back over here, back to the module, and we're gonna edit this, and we're going to turn on load into a new tab. I'm going to update it, and we're going to click on it, and it simply opens to the page. Now, this is not really, it's not that difficult for a student to go back. They'll see the Canvas tab here. They can go back, and the advantage is you get the full web page. You can see this. So there's more room visually to navigate the website or the web page. And there's significant advantages to that. Now, in addition, and what I didn't mention a moment before when we had it within Canvas in that small window, is that it makes it very difficult for a student with a screen reader to be able to navigate that page, because they got to get their screen reader cursor to jump into that window, and that can be very challenging depending on what level of competency the student has in using the screen reader. So that would be a great disadvantage. Whereas if you have the student open it into a separate tab, then they don't have to deal with that barrier. They can just simply start using the screen reader on the website itself rather than trying to navigate inside that frame inside of Canvas. So that's the one option you have of providing students access to a website within your course in Canvas. Let's take a look at another option. And so you can see right here, that's what that looks like. It would be hard for a screen reader to navigate in here. Anyway, going back, let's go back here, and we're going to look at embedding the web page or the website in a Canvas page. And there's some advantages to that as well. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to add a Canvas page. And I'm going to create the page. And let's call this Science Friday Canvas page. All right. And I'm going to indent this too. And I'm going to add the item. All right. So there it is. And we want to add our content. And I'm going to click on it. And here's our Canvas page. So I'm going to edit. Now, as you watch this video, there is a link to a Google Doc in the comments below the video, or materials section under the video. If you click on that, then you're going to be able to copy and paste the code I'm about to show you. So even if you're not an HTML guru, and I am not either, it's still fairly easy to insert the small line of code into the HTML coding of your Canvas page to embed the website that you want to embed. So we're going to embed that same site into this Canvas page, but we have to go into the HTML mode. And you could do that by either clicking down here in the bottom right, or you could go to the View menu as well. We'll do that. And we're going to go down here to the HTML editor. And of course, it's empty right now. There's nothing there. We haven't placed anything inside there. If you were working in a Canvas page where you had lots of text and stuff, you would see the coding for all that. But this is an empty page. We're just wanting to insert the website. So I'm going to go over to the code that I want, and here it is. And this will be in that document that will be associated with this video that you can look at. I'm going to copy that code, and I'm going to go back to my Canvas page in the HTML editor mode, and I'm going to paste it in there. Now, what you need to do is you have, in quotes, this part here, paste URL here. So let's go back to the website, and we'll copy that URL to our clipboard, go back to Canvas, and I'm just going to highlight the text inside those quotes. And you'll see here it says source equals quote, and then you would put the URL. So now I'm going to just paste that right there, and there it is. Now, before I leave here, a couple more things. You can determine the width and the height of the space in which the website will be placed inside the Canvas page, and also know that it will be a dynamic sizing situation. So that way, students will have different size monitors, or they might resize their browser window, and the space that the website is in will resize. I have it set here as 1,000 pixels width and 1,000 pixels height. You may decide you want a different value in either one of those, but we're going to keep it that way for now. So now that I have the code in there and I've inserted the URL for the website we want to embed, I'm going to go ahead and save it. And there it is. And you'll notice that it's 1,000 pixels high, and obviously this website is taller than that. So anytime the content exceeds the allotted space, you'll get a scroll window here. But you do want to try to provide students as uncramped area as possible if they choose to, or for them to navigate the website within Canvas. So the advantage of this is it's not constrained to a small window. You have control over the size of the window that the website will be embedded in. In addition to that, this is much easier for a student who's using a screen reader to jump right in there, because this is really just a part of the Canvas page now. And so as they navigate and tab through the content of the page with their screen reader, it's going to be so much easier for that student to navigate with that screen reader. Now, I have one more piece of advice if you decide to go this route, which I highly recommend. And the reason why is at some point or another in your teaching, you're going to end up having a student who uses a screen reader. Doing this right now will save you time later on when all of a sudden you're notified by the Office of Student Access that you have a blind student. Well, this will be one thing you won't have to worry about, because this will already be accessible to them. The additional thing that I would provide is provide your students options. And so I'm going to go back and edit this page, because maybe the student wants to open the page in a separate tab, and you can provide them that. So what we want to do is enter some instructions, some text above the embedded website, telling the student what to do, and that they can click on a link to open the website in another tab if they so desire. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to hit the go back into edit mode. And because I embedded the website in the Canvas page before entering any text up here, I have no room up here to enter text. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to scroll all the way to the bottom here and click on the embedded area. It's kind of challenging sometimes. There we go. Now you see that I clicked over here and I have the cursor here on the right, but I need it over here on the left. So I'm going to use my arrow key and hit the left arrow key once, and that selects the whole thing. Then I'll hit the left arrow key again, and voila, now my cursor is on the right-hand side. From this point, I'm just going to scroll to the top, and I think I'm going to hit my enter key once and maybe twice, and I'll scroll back up and see what I got here. So now I have ample space to enter text. So up here, I'm going to enter directions. So review the following or review the Science Friday article below. If you wish, comma, you can open the Science Friday article in a separate tab. Period. Now, the students who want to open it in another tab, it's either they prefer it, or it could be that it's a student with a screen reader who's thinking to themselves, I think it would be easier just to open it up in a different tab, or maybe they wouldn't. But either way, what we want to do is link some of this text to the website again. So I'm going to go here and copy the URL, and I'm going to go back here, and I'm just going to highlight this text here, and I'm going to link it. Whoops. There we go. Done. And now there you have that link text. I'm going to get rid of this extra line break there. All right, so there you go. So review the Science Friday article below. If you wish, you can open the Science Friday article in a separate tab. Beautiful. I'm going to save it. And now what you've done is you've provided your students some options on how to view this content. They can stay inside the Canvas page and scroll through here and view it right inside. And for many students, they're going to want to do that. They're like, good, I don't have to go to a different tab. However, there may be other students who do want it in a different tab. Maybe they want the entire browser page filled with this website. And so when they click on this, it opens it up in a separate tab. It's easy for them to see and view and navigate. And so you're providing your students with various options on how to view the content. So at the end of the day, or as we back away and kind of review what we've talked about, let's go back to the different things that we've done. So we've looked at providing students a direct link or a link to the website, and here that is. It opens it up in a separate tab, or if I back up, the other thing would be it looks like this. And that's not bad, but there's a lot of disadvantages to just linking it in its own frame like that. And then the other option is using the HTML editing and using that HTML coding to embed the website within a Canvas page. And this is going to be, it's going to have advantages for accessibility, not only for a student with a screen reader, but other students that might have a difficult time interpreting the text in such a crowded format. It'll be less crowded, or you give them the option of seeing the entire website in its own tab.